Flosstube. How about Flosstube number 3 from the Creative Madness Mama? Sit down, mister. Lie down. I apologize for the distraction in the background, but I think that's just going to be the way that it has to be. Although this video may never get off the ground, depending on how noisy things get. Gonna have to try to work on sitting still because I usually move around or bounce or whatever when I talk, but I have my laptop very precariously on top of a stitching box or two, and hoping that they will just stay there and maybe I can get myself to sit still. So, oh, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. Okay. You can see it later in just a minute. So, I wanted to try to update and see where I am with things. The last video that I made was a video talking about what I was working on in October and what my plans were for November. So at this point, I kind of have to catch you up on what I worked on throughout the rest of October, November, December, and most of what I've been working through in January. There is a video going on in here, and so that's what he's commenting on. Again, I apologize, and I hope that you're able to hear and understand me over toddler babble. So, let's see. I have 2 other videos. I have one video where I talked about what I did in October and November, and I also have a video where I did a Know Your Needlework tag. If you stick around to the end of this video, I will try to link those videos up as well so that you'll be able to click on them. Sorry. I have some new projects as well as some whips going on. Something I mentioned that I wanted to start was a very large 18 count Ada A Stitch in Time by Amy Stewart. That is one of the Heaven and Earth designs that they are very well known for. So just to show you the pattern is what is on this bag. Lots of colors, all the different seasons. I thought working on an 18 count, it would be less overwhelming for me than working on the 25 and the 28 count. I'm actually finding it to be a little bit the other way around. Working on the 18 count has been extremely overwhelming for me. And I think it's because this fabric is huge. And I've been trying to stitch in hand. I've tried to stitch with a little hoop, and I just can't find a way to comfortably sit. I don't have much done. I've just been working on the first page, and so there's not much there. But so far it's all the colors as charted, and I kitted it up by going to one of those 4 for $1 sales at Joann's. So it's all the DMC floss, and what we've been doing is I have 2 little girls and they enjoy bobbinating my floss. So what I've been doing is, as a color is called for, we find it in the bags of the stuff we bought, and then they bobbinate it for me after I get a length, and then it goes into my bobbin boxes. And while I'm actually mentioning my bobbin boxes, I can go ahead and show those to you. What I had been doing was buying these purple art bin boxes. They look a lot bluer on screen than they are, but they are purple. They are really a lavender and still see-through enough, but I have 3 of these, and I have been searching for them, and I can't find the purple ones anywhere. Now I can only find the clear ones. We did find a blue one. It's kind of neon blue in a fishing store, but it's Art Bin's opposite brand, so it's actually a fishing tackle box, but it's the exact same thing. And that one is called Flambeau brand rather than Art Bin. But what I did was I actually took 5 of my boxes, so I had clear ones and the purple ones, and 5 of my boxes filled this. So this is Options Creative. A lot of people have been talking about these lately. So there's one big section, and then all the rest are sectioned. And it flips over, and again, one big section, and then all the rest are sectioned. So I have all of my DMC pretty much in here from, let's see, still getting used to which direction is which. So I start with my white, my ecru, and then I go from 150 all the way to 3052, so 3052. And then my 3300s, 3600s, 3700s, they are all actually in the purple boxes that I picked up. So I haven't decided if I'm going to get another one of the doubles because I can't quite fill it up, but I do have a paper box full of floss that a friend had got when a store was going out of business, but it's a lot of random colors that I just don't need very much of, like 922 or 470 or 740 and 741, and like I have little snack bags full, so there's probably, I don't know, that's maybe 30 skeins of one color, so I'll probably try to pick them up for random things, or maybe I'll do some blackwork designs with those colors. I don't know. If there's a color you're looking for, let me know and we could probably work out some sort of trade. But yeah, so that's something that I'm working on. And another new start that I have this year, well, I guess I'll start with a plan. A plan that I want to do soon is this kit. This is just something I got in the clearance section, but it is a Dimensions kit, and I've been very happy with Dimensions. Dimensions kits are already color sorted for me, so I don't have to fight with it. But so we've been redoing the girls' room, and this one says, "The princess sleeps here." And one of my girls is very much princess oriented, so this will be very appropriate for her. She will really enjoy it once I finally get it done. Another plan that I have that I actually wanted to start on the 17th, but I didn't get there, is another Joan Elliott, which if you've seen any of my videos, any of my Instagram, that's Cherry Blossom MJ, or anything that I've posted in Stitch Mania or Stitch from Stash, I do a lot of Joan Elliott. But this is, it was originally called Stitcher's Diary from 2013. It was a magazine insert, and so I've got some working copies here. But Joan now has it for a chart pack known as A Year of Magical Stitching, and really her chart packs are so much better quality than anything you get in a magazine. I really suggest that. But this is what it originally looked like, and that's just some of the patterns that are in there. And I had purchased a specific, let's see, it looks a lot more yellow right now. It's a lot more green to me in person, but it's about the same color as the Little Stitcher's Fairy Wings. And so this is what I plan to do the whole thing on. Do it all, the individual motifs, putting them together. So I planned to start that a couple days ago, but didn't quite get there. So hopefully I will soon. Okay, another new start. I am participating in the Frosted Pumpkin Factory Stitch Along for 2017. It's Happily Ever After. So I was actually missing quite a few colors, but like I said, I got that box back there, so I've been trying to go through the box and pick out appropriate substitutes. So the flowers are my main substitute, as well as some of the lines, so I hope that it is working out well. But this is the called for Helix by Picture This Plus. It is my first effort with working with a Picture This Plus fabric, and it is opalescent. It is a 13 by 18 casual 28 count. So I'm loving the font. The border is very cute, and I've wanted to do a Frosted Pumpkin Factory for a while now, so I'm excited about jumping into this one. It's actually what I've been working on today. Well, if you need more space, you can get off the couch. Last time I talked about this book, I still plan to do a flip through if that's something that people want to see, but I know Christmas patterns are kind of dying down. But so I'm working on Santa's Workshop, or it may also be called Workshop Santa. That's what I said last time. But so I've been working on this one. This is also a Joan Elliott design. This is why I actually bought the book. And last time I mentioned that I was planning to work on this, but I had not started it yet. It's what I worked on the entire time we went to Georgia for Christmas time. Some fuzz, sorry. And this is what I got done. The gold metallic is actually a DMC metallic, and it is not fun. So I plan to try to see about maybe trying Thread Heaven like people have said. I haven't ever used it before. And I'm missing a few colors, but again, I decided to see what I could get done, and then maybe I can go back with substitutes, or if necessary, you know, really try to buy the floss that I need. For January, several of the different groups that I'm in had either stitching garnet or stitching red, either for a day or for a weekend. And so I worked on several different red projects. I was trying to make that Santa Wanted Red project, working on the little tin soldier. And another one that I was working on is another Joan Elliott. This is Canadian Beauty. This is one that was from a Canadian retreat, I believe. And it is a year or two old. I'm not sure, maybe 2015. And it is actually the first Joan Elliott pattern that I bought because I was so excited about it. And it was before I really started in on these dainty ones, and it was before I started in on 28 count. So this is, I believe this is 14 count Stardust Ada. And I'm not sure what I think about going back to this one after I've really enjoyed working on 28 and 32 count stitching over 2. I mean, I could do this, and you know, I'll use a sharper needle to do the fractional stitches, but I don't know, I'm tempted to actually finish this one and give it to my godmother. She is French Canadian, but maybe then restitching it, I'm not sure. We'll see. I hope she would like it. The other one that I worked on for the red weekend is not truly red, but there's a lot of red and pink tones. And this is a magazine cutout that I had. So this one is the Snow Queen. So this again is another Joan Elliott. And I've gotten quite a lot of progress done on her. There's even some that goes over into the edges. I have not started a skin yet, but I wanted to try to continue to do some more of her dress, continuing along the reds, but I got distracted by doing her shawl. Now that I have all of the colors to go into her scarf, shawl, maybe it's trim of her jacket, but I'm enjoying it. This is a Monaco. This is my first and only project working on Monaco. It is 28 count glass blue Monaco that I got from 123 Stitch. It is my first thing that I got from 123 Stitch. Got it extremely fast. Got it all my questions answered. I like 123 Stitch, and I would go back to them again. And let's see, another new start that I told you guys I was thinking about but had not started yet. Another Joan Elliott. This one is called Madonna and Child. And this one I'm stitching on a Blueberry Jobelin. Again, 28 count. I have found that stitching 28 count 2 over 2 with skin being 1 over 1 is my favorite. And I'm enjoying this one. Missing a little bit of yellow that I need to go back for, but I really like this one. This is one that I had posted up on Instagram and my blog and so on. I'm very proud of how she's turning out so far. I think she's lovely. And again, I was working on this for the red weekend, although it's really more pink tones than red, but she's going to have quite a bit of red in her dress when it is complete. But I plan to work on that one year round. Maybe it'll be the one that I submit for Christmas updates and whatnot. Sorry, fuzz in the hair. Another one that I don't know if I had started before I updated or not, but I didn't see it, or I don't remember it when I watched my video earlier, is Enchanted Aurora. This is another Joan Elliott that is from a Canadian retreat. And I love the colors in this one. This is one that I plan to stitch on a lot in February because one of the themes for February in several of the groups that I'm in is amethyst or purple. And there's even a laissez-faire day with Mardi Gras colors. And so with the purples and the greens in there, I really plan on spending a lot of time with that one. I am stitching this on 28 count Jobelan. I believe it is called Twilight Mist. This is one of my the fabric is one of my purchases from the local L&S. And again, her skin is 1 over 1. Her skin is not complete. I need to continue working on it, but I can only do 1 over 1 for so long before I need a break. I need to go back to working on the 2 over 2 or a smaller project, whatnot. Another new start for me that was part of my whimsical winter themes that I was working on is the Snow Princess. Joan Elliott actually has 2 Snow Princesses. One is called The Snow Princess, one is called Snow Princess. Snow Princess is more pastel-y, looks a little bit more like her older character designs. Not as, I guess you could say, dainty or fragile as some of her new fairies and princesses look like. This one is from the Christmas Treasures book. I apologize for the glare. But so it's this one right here. And I have just started on the yellow part of her gown because I was trying to start this one in the center and go out. So this is from the Cross Stitch Christmas Treasures, or Christmas Cross Stitch Treasures. It is available. I bought this book from Amazon, but it is available at Annie's, and it is available as a digital download from Annie's. Speaking of Amazon, I do have an Amazon affiliate account associated with my blog. If you would ever like to help support and sponsor for us buying future homeschool materials and cross-stitch needs and whatnot, every little bit helps. This is another fantasy dyed fabric. It is an individual dye, and it's something that we tried to get specifically for this design, and I don't have much done. Like I said, this is just the corner of her dress, like about where she's holding her hand in her dress. And so this is purples and blues. It's Lagana, it's opalescent, it is 28 count. And again, I'm stitching it 2 over 2, which is really my favorite status. And so there's all sorts of colorings in there, light blues and purples, and it's perfect. Perfect. Every single piece of fabric I get from Fantasy Dyed Fabrics, for me, has been perfect. Very, very happy with them. Another one of my new ones. I'm not usually one of those people who sees a pattern and is just, oh my goodness, I have to have that pattern. This was one of those patterns where I squealed. And it's actually how I discovered that you can buy digital patterns from Annie's, because I believe this was in Just Cross Stitch, maybe? I think that's what it was. And Annie's sells digital copies of that magazine. And so I happened to stumble upon the pattern, and within a day stumbled upon Annie's, and they were having a 50% off download sale. So I was a little bit in heaven. But this is Winter's Grace. And this is Joan Elliott's newest pattern, one of her newest fairies, I guess you could say. And I love it. So I had my husband print out the pattern on some 11 by 17 with it very clear and very, very excited. I mean, this is just what I printed off my computer just so I could put it in the bag to, you know, have an inspirational thing. But I've been working on her hair. And even though in the book, or the magazine, it does describe her hair as being a brown, it's gray. I mean, these are 2 gray tones. Her wings are kind of blue and blue-purple, but even with the gray, I'm loving it. And I'm excited about getting more of her shape on, and then I'll start doing the dress, and I'll come back to the skin when it's a very clear day for me, knowing I'm not in a pregnancy fog, not frog. No more frogs. No frogs around here, please. Thank you. Another work in progress I've been spending a lot of time on this week is one of my Mirabilias. I have two. This is actually my first one, and it is Rapunzel. So this is from 2016. And I am stitching her on a 32 count. I would have told you 28, but then I watched my video and it says 32. So I checked on the label, and sure enough, I'm stitching this on a 32. So I'm stitching 2 over 2 on 32, and I plan to do her skin 1 over 1. And she is on the Q-snap, so you can't see everything that I did, but you can see the other parts that you can't see right now if you go back and look at my other video. But so I've been working on her braid, and I've been working on filling out her dress. And so I've been coming across more, and I think I plan to go across some more and then maybe go down. I might go up, but about right here is where the page bend is from when I made my copy, my working copy. So I don't know if I'll get up the other page or not yet. I'll probably just keep working down because that's still in that part of the page. And this again that's another Fantasy Dyed Fabrics. It's a bunch of grays and pinks and absolutely perfect for the design. I had told her that, you know, I wanted something for the new Mirabilia Rapunzel, and she's like, well, do you think this would work? And I was so excited. It was perfect. Very, very happy with it. Let's see. I'm looking at notes right here. I wrote down a few things, but I hadn't actually worked on them. So next month, I plan to spend a lot of time on the Little Stitching Fairy. That's another Joan Elliott. That'll fit into my purple theme. That one I'm stitching 28 count 2 over 2 on an opalescent Sailor's Delight from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. That's my first Stephanie fabric. And there's also a Joan Elliott Sleeping Beauty. That's on 32 count, another Belfast Opal from Fantasy Dyed Fabrics. Then there's the Raven Queen, which is on a 28 count, stitching 2 over 2 on a hand-painted Sunny Dyes fabric. That's my other Mirabilia. So I've got 2 Mirabilias working right now. There's the Raven for my husband, and that one is from La Di Da, and that is on Weeks Dye Works Havana on 30 count, actually. I didn't bring Summer out here, so I think she is actually in my box. That's a Ruth Sanderson. I have been working on the Fall Fairy. I haven't got any more progress since the last video that I took, so I haven't worked on her. But I did finish the Woodland Enchantress, and I see that probably my son has pulled out one of the beads, so I'll need to fix that. But she is almost complete. I mean, she's complete enough, but she needs her belt. But that is not something that I actually really know how to do, and I can't see, so I have no idea what you're seeing. But so I did the French knots in her hair, and I added the Mill Hill petite seed beads for snow throughout instead of the called for white French knots. And this is a combination of blending threads and tent stitch and full stitches and annoying metallic threads. And then these over here are the beads that came with the kit. That was actually the only beading that was supposed to be in the kit. And I decided that I liked the look of the Mill Hill ice beads, that they added a lot to it. But so once I go back and fix that one bead that has been pulled, she's ready for framing. I mean, she needs the belt, but I've talked to my husband about it, and he's fine with her not having the belt, and I'm indifferent about it. It's just the cording and all is not something that I really know how to do, and my kit did not have enough of that thread. So it's thread that I would have to go buy. I do have that metallic thread from the workshop Santa, so I might be able to use that one in it. But new thread, different skill set, just not really sure, and I think she's okay without it. So, and maybe it'll make her unique, you know, from everybody else's that you see. And again, that's the Woodland Enchantress. She's also been sold as Christmas Fairy, and that is an 18 count Ada, just a blue Ada, pale blue, and that's a Gold Dimensions kit. My Fall Fairy is also a Gold Dimensions kit, although I would love to be able to find a Hade pattern of the Fall Fairy because she has wings. And if you don't know what I mean, look in the middle of this pattern. This is spring. And like I said, I did not bring summer out here. But so this is spring. Here is the Christmas fairy or woodland enchantress. Here is fairy melody. Then you've got the fall fairy, and then you've got Snow Princess Rising. And actually Snow Princess Rising and Spring and Woodland Enchantress are all from Ruth Sanderson's picture book that is called The Snow Princess. But so this is a Heaven and Earth Designs, and I've been working on it for a couple of different challenges, and I'm currently working on it from about here, and I plan to go to about like even with here, and this will be for the challenge that's going on right now that ends at the beginning of April. I'm going to try to bring her closer, see what you can see. But I'm very impressed with the tree that's showing up. And I did not mind working with this Kryneck or whatever treasure braid or whichever it is that Haid gets it up with. This is being stitched from a Haid kit, and I am loving it. And those needle minders are picture needle minders that I had special permission to have made for inspiration on my projects. That is the pile in front of me, and I have a bag that I forgot to open up. I had showed you this before. This is Lakeside Needlecrafts Fantasy Stitch Along, and so far I've only got what I had before really, which is the October. I started in October, so I have the October, but I have put in that Colorworks variegated thread for this border I've been starting, and now I'm going to try to go up with the border and see if I can't make myself all the way up to January so that I can start on the unicorn, because I think the unicorn is gorgeous and really would like to get into that. Again, the cat was a substitute that I put in. I found that pattern in the Joan Elliott Bewitching book. But I'm really, really happy with the color Threadworks variegated thread that I'm using on the loop-de-loop border. And at least one more thing down here. Yep, that's all from that pattern. This is another plan that I have. I made this kit a couple years ago. It's stamped muslin. I did this a couple years ago for my dad, and my brother liked it so much he was envious. So I finally found another one, and plan to stitch this one for my brother. So I will have to get into that eventually. And lastly, what I was working on mostly last week is the birth sampler for my second daughter. If you watch my last video, you'll be able to see the finished birth sampler for my oldest daughter. And so I've been working on the sampler for my second daughter. And this is Mermaid Bay by Busilla. And Busilla is coming up on an anniversary this year, and they are really excited about sharing their history. They're now part of Plaid Crafts, but they have a long history back from, I want to say 1876, when Busilla was first started, and it's actually a shortening of the original name. But so I've been working on this mermaid the most right now, getting a lot of her back stitching in. So her tail's not complete, but most of the rest of her is. And she'll still need, I think it calls for French knots, but I'm tempted with the idea of experimenting with beads. And let's see. So we've got a little creature there, some fish, and another mermaid there. And then I have this huge problem. Can you see it? There's a border here. There's a border here. I'm missing a wave. But then I put in the mermaid, and I put in the flowers, and I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if I took out the flowers and took out this wave and just left the mermaid. But I don't know. I have not decided what I want to do. But I like the way this mermaid's turning out. So she makes me happy, even if the other one makes me a bit frustrated. Let's see if I can pull out the sheet. So this is Mermaid Bay. And I also have the stamped cross-stitch quilt to go along with this one. And that, I believe, is it. At a glance, I think that's it. So for the rest of January, I plan to continue working on these bits. I'd like to get a little bit further on my Lakeside Fantasy stitch along, and I'd like to get most, if not all, of January and some of the border completed for the Frosted Pumpkin stitch along. And then in addition to that, I've been really eyeing some other things. I haven't done, and I'm sorry about the I'll try to work on that. I have not done many samplers, but I have the pattern for the, I want to say Papillon, the Around the World in 80 Stitches, and I'm excited about that, and I want to get started on that. I might have a fabric to work for it, but I'm not sure. And these others, I really need to see about fabric, because the only fabrics I have are things I've bought specific for patterns, because I used to be a kit stitcher, and now I've only recently discovered the world of kitting things up on my own, really. But Sublime Stitches and Save the Stitches, both from, I believe it's Blackwork Journey, those are ones that really excite me, and so I'd like to see if I can find some fabric for that. And then there is a Linen and Thread stitch along, and the last one, I want to say Tom and Lily. Don't quote me on that, because I may be getting wrong, but it is a French stitch along that is for temperature petals, and I'm excited about that. I saw a picture of that, and just, I love it, and I think it's a great idea, and I think it would be very neat to look back upon once it is completed. So that would be neat. And oh, and Stitcherovia, the quotes to live by. I want that. I haven't bought it yet. I haven't bought fabric or anything for it, but that's the one purchase that I keep going. So, but this year I am participating in, I just joined Stitch Mania. I don't know if that means I'll join Mania. After all, I am kind of expecting something at that point. But I am enjoying the Facebook group for it, and I am enjoying the little monthly stitch-alongs and the little thematic days and whatnot. And I'm also doing Stitch from Stash, which I don't have much stash. I mean, not in the manner of individual pieces of fabric or fancy threads and whatnot. I do have a bunch of stash of old kits. And sorry, just seeing my hand without my ring, it's driving me crazy. I can't wear it right now because things have just gotten too swollen, but I still have the indent from it. I want it back though. But sorry, tangent. I need to figure out whether I'm going to do anything else, but I've got a lot of things going on and future things planned, and then I'm also homeschooling and busy, but enjoying the busy. So, well, I think I'm going on about 35 minutes right now, and I've got a little pumpkin continuously peeking around the corner who wants my attention. So I will pull this video to an end, but I hope it's clear. When I'm looking at it, it looks very grainy, and I hope it's not the way it actually appears. And if it's mirror imaged so the words can't be seen, I've got no idea how to fix that, but hopefully it won't be too bad. This is the first one that I've done where you can see me and then I hold up the patterns for you. So hopefully it wasn't too terrible. But please leave comments. Let me know, what did you like? What did you not like? What would you like to see more of? What project do you think I should spend a week upon? I don't have a real routine. Usually for me, it's either I plan, I'm going to work on this thing, or I see something when I'm reaching into my bag and decide upon something then. Basically, my plans for February consist of continuing along a whimsical winter theme. So Snow Queen, Snow Princess, all that, and then doing purple, which a lot of these have purple colors that I've already shown you, whether it's purple fabric or purple threads. And I think the one, other than the Year of Magical Stitches, the one that has purple that I plan to be a new start for February is the Little Spring Fairy. And I don't have her out here right now, but that's a Joan Elliott, and she's wearing a beautiful purple dress, and she's sitting down, and she's got pretty much ebony hair. So I think that'll be good. But I will call it quits here and say good night.